Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. Believe it or not, we are rapidly approaching the midpoint of the semester. So the topics we cover this week are research designs and research ethics. Um, there's 2 lectures from me. Again, links here, slides are up here, and then there's a link to a video. This is it's a PBS sort of documentary. It was part of the Nova series that I'm not sure if they PBS even produces those still, but it was these sort of hour long standalone documentaries. So this one in this case that we're going to watch is called Deadly Deception, and it's from the early '90s, and it gives a good overview and sort of contextualizes the Tuskegee syphilis study. The reason it was done in the '90s at that point was that the men who were part of the study, either as participants um, or as administrators and researchers, and then the journalist who sort of exposed the study in the '90s were fairly old, and I imagine most of them, or I imagine many of them have since passed on. Um, so the video quality isn't that great because obviously it's from the '90s, but there is a link here on YouTube, and like I said, it's a good sort of historical context for research ethics. So the other big task for this week is to complete the city training, and there's a Dropbox for you to upload the city training certificate here. Let me switch over real quick. So this is the city program website. I'll just show you how to access the courses or how to access the course that you need to take in order to satisfy UB's requirement. So believe it or not, it is the city training is a requirement for graduation. If you have already taken the city training, maybe as an undergrad, make sure it's the correct one. And what you need to do is update your affiliation. I'm not sure how to do that, but I suspect Googling or something like that would be able to help you, or maybe looking on some of the support pages. So if you don't have a city account, you can register for one here, and I'll show you how to do it. So what I clicked here a second ago was just register, and it took me to this page. And then I find the easiest thing to do is actually just to search for Buffalo. And the one you want, obviously, is SUNY Buffalo, University at Buffalo, not one of the others. So when you click on that, you sort of agree to the terms of service, and then you create the different you just fill in the different things here. I'm not going to do it because I have an account through UB is ready already. I would recommend using your at buffalo.edu email address. Um, so once you've created your account, you would go and log in. I'm going to log in just obviously because I already have an account as a researcher affiliated with UB. So you've logged in, and again, this might look a little bit different only because uh, I have, I have to do these trainings obviously to keep my position. So the thing you would do, it should take you to this after you've registered. So you would go to View Courses, and then you probably won't see this, but what you're going to want to do is scroll down here to Learner Tools for SUNY Buffalo and click on Add a Course. And what this does is it actually takes you to a series of, I think there's 11 or 12 different questions. Oh, there's 13 questions. And you need to sort of go through and respond to some of these. Now, I'm going to do this here, and then I'll switch over to a PowerPoint slide real quick, and you can take a screenshot, but that tells you how to respond to each question. Um, so, um, like I said, you can screenshot that or just take a note. You can skip the first one. For question number 2, you have to click the second option. So the second option reads, for protocols submitted and reviewed by the SBIRB, complete the Social Humanistic Behavioral course. You can skip questions 3 through 10. So you can skip 3, you can skip 4, you can skip 5, you can skip 6, skip 7, skip 8, skip 9, skip 10, and then for questions 11 and 12, you have to click Not at this time, and then you can skip question 13. The reason you need to click Not at this time for 11 and 12 is that they actually require an answer to these, and I'm not sure why they don't require answers to the other ones. At any rate, it is what it is. And like I said, I'll switch over to a slide here in a second that tells you what to click. So after you've done that, you just hit submit, and then it'll take you to sort of these enrollment pages, and then you should have, you will not see these, but you should have this. It should say courses ready to begin, social and behavioral research investigators, and there are 16 modules. Now I know that sounds like a lot. Some of the modules are just putting in your name and your email address and things like that. So they're not all sort of content related. And then you just hit start, go through it. You don't have to get perfect on any one of the modules. You just have to pass them. And then what you'll upload to UB Learns is the certificate. So let me just switch over to my PowerPoint real quick so that you can see what or how to respond to those 13 questions. All right, so as I said, you can screenshot this or just scribble it down real quick, but you're skipping number 1, choosing the second option for question number 2, skipping questions 3 through 10, clicking Not at this time for 11 and 12, and then skipping question 13. And then after you hit submit, like I said, that'll give you a 16 module course to complete. If you are updating your affiliation from an undergraduate institution, I believe the course has to be unexpired at the time of graduation. That shouldn't be a problem if you've done this in the last year or two. I think the courses are usually good for 3 years. So at any rate, welcome to week 4. Hope everyone is doing well. Have a great week. Feel free to get in touch if you have any questions.